This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Sayings of Confucius, from the Harvard Classics, edited by Charles W. Eliot. Book 14. 1. Hsien asked, "What is shame?" The master said, "Higher when right prevails, higher when wrong prevails, higher is always shame." 2. To eschew strife and boasting, spite and greed, can that be called love? The master said, "I call that hard to do. I do not know that it is love." 3. The master said, "A scholar who loves comfort is not worthy of the name." 4. The master said, "When right prevails, be fearless of speech and fearless in deed. When wrong prevails, be fearless in deed, but soft of speech." 5. The master said, "A man of worth can always talk, but talkers are not always men of worth. Love is always bold, though boldness is found without love." 6. Nangung Kuo said to Confucius, "Yi was good at archery. Ao could push a boat over land. Each died before his time. Yu and Ji toiled at their crops and won the world." 7. The master said, "Gentlemen without love there may be, but the vulgar must ever be strangers to love." 8. The master said, "Can one love, yet take no pains? Can he be faithful who gives no counsel?" 9. The master said, "The decrees were drafted by Pi Chen, criticized by Shi Shu, polished by the foreign minister Tzu Yu, and given the final touches by Tzu Chan of Dongli." 10. Being asked what he thought of Tzu Chan, the master said, "A kind-hearted man." Asked what he thought of Tzu Si, the master said, "Of him? What I think of him!" Asked what he thought of Guanzhong, the master said, "He was the man who drove the boar from the town of Bian and its 300 households to end his days on coarse rice, and no word of wrong could he find to say." 11. The master said, "It is hard not to chafe at poverty, a light thing not to be proud of wealth." 12. The master said, "Meng Gong Chuo is more than fit to be a steward to Zhao or Wei, but is not fit to be minister of Tung or Xue." 13. Tzu Lu asked what were a full-grown man. The master said, "A man wise as Zhang Wuzhong, greedless as Gong Chuo, bold as Zhuang of Bian, skillful as Ran Qiu, and graced with courtesy and music, might be called a full-grown man. But today who asks the like of a full-grown man? Who in sight of gain remembers right, in face of danger will risk his life, and cleaves to his word for a lifetime, however old the bond, him we must call a full-grown man." 14. Speaking of Gong Shu Wen, the master said to Gong Mingjia, "Is it true that thy master does not speak, nor laugh, nor take a gift?" Gong Mingjia answered, "That is saying too much. My master speaks when it is time to speak, so none weary of his speaking. He laughs when he is merry, so none weary of his laughter. He takes what it is right to take, so none weary of his taking." "It may be so," said the master, "but is it?" 15. The master said, when Zhang Wuzhong, holding Fang, asked Lu to appoint an heir, though he said he was not forcing his prince, I cannot believe it. 16. The master said, Duke Wen of Jin was deep but dishonest. Duke Huan of Qi was honest but shallow. 17. Zilu said, when Duke Huan slew the young Duke Jiu, Shao Hu died with him, but not Guanzhong. Was this not want of love? The master said, Duke Huan gathered the nobles together without help from chariots of war through the might of Guanzhong. What can love do more? What can love do more? 18. Zigong said, in becoming minister, instead of dying with the young Duke Jiu when he was slain by Duke Huan, Guanzhong showed want of love, it would seem. The master said, through Guanzhong helping Duke Huan to bend the nobility and tame the world, men have fared the better from that day unto this. But for Guanzhong we should wear our hair down our backs and the left arm bare. Or should he, like the ploughboy and his lass, their troth to keep, have drowned in a ditch, no man the wiser? 19. The minister Xian, once steward to Gongshu Wen, went to audience of the duke together with Wen. When the master heard of this, he said, he is rightly called Wen, cultured. 20. The master spake of the wickedness of Ling, Duke of Wei. Kang said, if that be so, how does he escape ruin? Confucius answered, with Zhong Shu Yu in charge of the guests, the reader Tuo in charge of the ancestral temple, and Wang Sunjia in charge of the troops, how should he come to ruin? 21. The master said, if the tongue have no fear, words are hard to make good. 22. Chen Cheng murdered Duke Jian. Confucius cleansed himself, went to court, and told Duke Ai, saying, Chen Heng has murdered his prince. Pray chastise him. The duke said, tell the three chiefs. Confucius said, following in the wake of the ministry, I dared not leave this untold. But the prince says, tell the three chiefs. He told the three chiefs. It was vain. Confucius said, following in the wake of the ministry, I dared not leave this untold. 23. Zilu asked how to serve the king. The master said, never cheat him, withstand him to the face. 24. The master said, a gentleman's life leads upward, a vulgar life leads down. 25. The master said, men of old learned for their own sake, the men of today learn for show. 26. Chu Boyu sent an envoy to Confucius. As they sat together, Confucius asked him, how is your lord busied? He answered, my lord tries to pair his faults and tries in vain. When the envoy had left, the master said, an envoy indeed. 27. The master said, when not in office, discuss not policy. 28. Zhengzi said, a gentleman is bent on keeping his place. 29. The master said, a gentleman is shamefast of speech, his deeds go further. 30. The master said, in 3 ways I fall short of a gentleman. Love is never vexed, wisdom has no doubts, courage is without fear. Zigong replied, that is what ye say, sir. 31. Zigong would compare one man with another. The master said, "What talents Zi has! Now I have no time for this." 32. The master said, "Sorrow not at being unknown. Sorrow for thine own shortcomings." 33. The master said, "Not to expect falsehood, nor look for mistrust, and yet to forestall them, shows worth in a man." 34. Wei Sheng Mo said, "How dost thou still find roosts to roost on, Chiu, unless by wagging a glib tongue?" Confucius answered, "I dare not wag a glib tongue, but I hate stubbornness." 35. The master said, "A steed is not praised for his strength, but praised for his mettle." 36. One said, "To mete out good for evil, how were that?" "And how would ye meet good?" said the master. "Meet evil with justice, meet good with good." 37. The master said, "Alas, no man knows me." Zigong said, "Why do you say, sir, that no man knows you?" The master said, "Never murmuring against heaven, nor finding fault with men, learning from the lowest, cleaving the heights, I am known but to one, but to heaven." 38. Liao, the duke's uncle, spake ill of Zilu to Ji Sun. Zifu Jingbo told this to Confucius, saying, "My lord's mind is surely being led astray by the duke's uncle, but strength is yet mine to expose his body in the marketplace." The master said, "The doom has fallen if truth is to win. It has fallen if truth is to lose. Can Liao, the duke's uncle, fight against doom?" 39. The master said, "Men of worth shun the world, the next best shun the land. Then come men who go at a look, then men who go at speech." 40. The master said, "7 men did so." 41. Zilu spent a night at Shimen. The gatekeeper asked him, "Whence comest thou?" "From Confucius," he answered. "The man who knows it is vain, yet cannot forbear to stir," said the gatekeeper. 42. When the master was chiming his sounding stones in Wei, a basket bearer said, as he passed the door, "His heart is full who chimes those stones." But then he added, "For shame! What a tinkling note! If no one heed thee, have done! Wade the deep places, lift thy robe through the shallows." The master said, "Where there's a will, that is lightly done." 43. Zizhang said, "What does the book mean by saying that Gao Zong, when mourning his predecessor, did not speak for 3 years?" The master said, "Why pick out Gao Zong? Men of old were all thus. For 3 years after the king had died, the 100 officers acted each for himself and obeyed the chief minister." 44. The master said, "When those above love courtesy, the people are easy to lead." 45. Zilu asked, "What is a gentleman?" The master said, "A man bent on shaping his mind." "Is that all?" said Zilu. "On shaping his mind to give happiness to others." "And is that all?" "On shaping his mind to give happiness to the people," said the master. "To shape the mind and give happiness to the people, for this both Yao and Shun still pined." 46. Yuan Rang awaited the master squatting. The master said, "Unruly when young, unmentioned as man, undying when old, spells good for nothing," and hit him on the leg with his staff. 47. When a lad from the village of Chue was made message bearer, Someone asked, saying, "Is it because he has made progress?" The master said, "I have seen him sitting in a man's seat, seen him walking abreast of his elders. This shows no wish to improve, only hurry to be a man." End of Book 14.